Hi everybody. This video is about using the Stylize parameter in Midjourney version 4B. On the first day of December 2022, Midjourney released a small update called version B that brings a new default style. Let's go through the update and compare examples of this new version 4B to what is now called version 4A. And we'll also compare it to the previous version 3. Keep in mind that there are many cases where the older version 3 may give you the style you want. Or is it time to move towards version 4? Let's find out. In the announcements, we see that version 4 now supports the style and stylize parameters. We're using the prompt wide shot of a man with little experience on the edge of a cliff, directing his emotional energies away from people and into the natural world. Vibrant colors, aspect ratio 3:2 in version 4. I can't remember now how I came up with this prompt. I like it. So that gives us this image from version 4 with no stylized settings. Using version 3, which I still have set as a default, gives us a more painterly artistic style that's quite wonderful if that's what you're looking for in your AI art. Since version 3 supports 16:9 aspect ratio, I always prefer to use that in my wide shots. Let's try another prompt. First, with version 3, a condemned city in full afternoon light, sound gradually descending, vibrant colors, wide shot. For version 4A, I forgot to set the aspect ratio to 3:2, but that's okay. Wow, this style is really incredible. Let's try setting the style to 4B and an aspect ratio of 3:2. Of course, the Imagine prompt is using a different seed here, so it's difficult to do a comparison. Anyway, I do like what I see. This image is simply spectacular. The style argument lets you pick a different style biases for the AI model. The current options are hyphen hyphen style for A and hyphen hyphen style for B. 4A is closer to the previous version 4 style. That's the version 4. So 4A is from the original version 4 release. 4B is currently the default. So that's from the second version 4 release at the end of November, beginning of December. Midjourney also tells us that they will release new styles in the future that are more different and extreme, that's their wording, from current styles, but that they also will attempt to keep the old styles from previous versions. That's where we see the formation of 4A and 4B as version identifiers. And Midjourney gave us a hint that version 4C is coming. Now let's look at the stylize parameter for version 4. The hyphen hyphen stylize parameter lets you change the strength of the default styling and accepts a value from 0 to 1000. The default is 100. If you set stylize 0, you may have worse images, but you may gain more fine-grained control. That's from the documentation. So what does that mean? It means the image adheres more closely to the text prompt. Let's take this last prompt using style 4B and view it at 3 other stylize settings. What we've seen so far is the default stylize setting of 100. Let's try stylize 0. Some interesting results. I like these. The image quality is not very good, but there's a very abstract, painterly quality to the images. Let's try stylize 500. These are nice and closer to the default stylize parameter of 100. Let's push it up to stylize 1000. Honestly, I don't see a big difference that the stylize parameters takes, but it may be with a specific prompt that itself is very stylized. With Stylize 1000, we do see that these images are darker, grittier perhaps. I like the lone person walking in this condemned city. Let's upscale this image with Beta Upscale Redo. The Beta Upscale Redo increases the resolution, but as expected, the upscale still introduces more artifacts. For painterly style, that's okay, but I will not normally use this upscaler. I want to re-roll this to see how it generates other variations at Stylize 1000 with this prompt. Okay, some interesting ideas on the same approach. Still has a darker appearance, but a drastically different style. And we want to try with a more realistic looking image of a woman. Here she is in version 4. And with version 4, style 4B. Okay, that's different. Of course, it's a different woman. That makes all the difference. Let's try the different stylized settings. Stylize 0. Very nice images. Slight difference than before. Number 4 is quite striking. Let's upscale that. Let's go all the way to the extreme with Stylize 1000. I don't see that the Stylize option impacts portraits too much. These portraits are all using the Leica M3 settings. I made a previous video about that. Let's remove those Leica settings along with any specifications of lens and film type to see if that makes a difference. Very subtle differences. The portraits are mostly being controlled by the other words in the prompt. Of course, if you remove certain words, then you'll get a different result. As in this example with Leica added back in, but removing the terms award-winning clamor, Vogue, no camera or lens or film type specified. Finally, let's upscale this last image to see how the upscaler handles faces. Still have some problems with the eyes, but maybe because this prompt included some very specific statement about the eyes. Let's do a light upscale redo. Still not good. I have never found a use for light upscale redo that works well. So let's try beta upscale redo. Indeed, I hardly ever use the light upscale redo or the beta upscale redo. When I do use those, I'm trying to get to the remaster option. So in summary, we've seen that we can use the Stylize option and then also the style parameter. By default, I like to see what sort of Midjourney gives me. I don't necessarily personally desire a lot of control over my images. I'm really fascinated by what Midjourney provides. So I'm generally will stick with the defaults at this point. And in some cases, I still like going back to version 3. So that's a summary, and you can see some images of what I've done here with Stylize and Midjourney. Enjoy your image making with Midjourney.